Morning all. Well done, Callum. First one to spot the deliberate error. I actually scheduled this for 11:45 in the evening instead of 11:45 a.m. But yes, I'm sure you all knew what I meant. Here we are. 11:45, Saturday 9th of March. Man United v Everton coming up at 12:30. We've also got Cardiff versus Ipswich. So a couple of decent games to get stuck into early on. If you are here, let us know you're here. Let us know where you're from, who you're following, what games you like for this weekend. And otherwise, I'll just run through what I like: Premier League, EFL, and otherwise, and we'll crack on from there. So Callum's in. Good morning. Kenzie's in. Somebody else is in, but they're not saying hello, and the numbers are creeping up. So I'll just give people a chance to get in, and then I'll let you know what I've got for today. Lefty Mag's in. Good morning. Is it worth backing United? Near enough doubling their money. Pat's in as well. Good morning, Pat. Early morning for you. Callum, I thought Man United were a good price the other day when I looked at this. As you say, nearly even money at home to Everton, who haven't won a game this calendar year. My pick was over 2.5, and I'm going to stick with that because I look at the Man United defence and it concerns me. Like Dalot, Varane, Johnny Evans, and Lindelof at left back. I wouldn't talk anyone off back in Man United. They are a good price. Everton aren't very good. Don't win many games. They're a decent price, but I can't. Well, I'm going to say I can't bring myself to back them, and then I'm going to put a thing up on the screen in a moment, which has my long shot on, which does have Man United in it. So I have taken Man United in my long shot, but it's a long shot, so I can get away with it. I think over 2.5. I think there'll be goals in it. Most of Man United games lately have had over 2.5 goals. I think it's now 7, 8 in a row in the Premier League. Lefty Mag's good shout. Lindelof yellow. I've been backing Lindelof for a card for the last few weeks because he's playing out of position. I don't know. I just feel like there's a good opportunity there to potentially. But yeah, Lindelof's been a good price. There's another reason why I've been following him for cards. I'll just bring up some stats for this game. Yellow cards for Man United lately. So yeah, see, I must have missed one. I took Lindelof, I think, in the Fulham game. He got one against Luton, didn't get booked in the Fulham game, and then he got booked against Forest. So he's had 2 in his last 4 games. He was 8-1, I think, against Fulham when I took him. Let's have a look. Anyone's on Bet365, you can get even money for Rashford to have 1 shot on target. That's their super boost this morning. So if you fancy that, get on now. You've got half an hour. Cards. Player to be booked. What price is Lindelof today? 72. 8.5 to 1 Lindelof to get a yellow card. That's a massive price. That's on Bet365. Shop around if you want. I absolutely love that. Lefty Mag, good shout. I'm glad you brought it up because I have been following him. I've been timing it wrong. But 8-1 for Lindelof at left back to get booked. Massive price. Massive. Morning, Mafia. James is in. Lefty Mag's chucking out a little treble. That'll pay good money. Godfrey, Lindelof, and Casemiro. Let's build them together. See what you get for that. Player card. Casemiro. Godfrey. Lindelof pushes it right. 110-1 for that treble there, Lefty. Get it on. Get in amongst it. Right. I'm going to put my EFL picks. Well, I see EFL. There's some Premier League in there today. EFL stuff's been hard lately. Struggled a little bit. So I have trimmed it down a little bit today. But I'm going to put it on because it includes an early game in every one of my ACCAs today. So there we go. That's what I've got today. Team totals. So the Ipswich game's an early kickoff. Get on there early. Ipswich, Norwich, and MK Dons. Around about 7-2 plus 350 for all 3 of those teams to score 2 goals. I've then got a win ACCA starting off with 2 of the same teams. Norwich to win, Ipswich to win, Southampton to beat the Mackhams, and finished off with Bradford, who I think are a good price against a poor Accrington Stanley side. That comes in at about 5.5 to 1 plus 550. Bradford, what? Accrington just lost 3 on the bounce. And Bradford are in reasonably good form. They're unbeaten in 5 league games, won 3 of the last 4. I think Bradford at evens look a really good price. Bradford are second in the form table in the league at the moment. Accrington Stanley down in third bottom in recent games. So I like that. And then I've got a long shot. I've chucked in Man United to kick off the long shot because they are a good price. Leicester are a good price, although Hull are in reasonable form. Leicester at evens is a good one to stick in a long shot. And I've gone with Luton. Luton to beat Palace. Luton have got to get a result somewhere. They're playing well somewhere along the line. If they don't get one today, they're fucked. That's it. Cancel Palace. Send them. Cancel Luton. They're down. But 3-1 Luton. Too big a price. Chuck them in your long shot. Finish it off with Charlton to take us just over 20-1 for that long shot. So yeah, that's what I've got this morning. Is right. Never back the early kick-off, as Mahatma Gandhi once said. But if you back the early kick-off and it goes to shit, you just reload and go again, don't you? What else can you do? Riley, how we doing? Riley's in. Good to see you. Let us know. Anyone else has got stuff? Make sure you let us know what you fancy today. I'm sure a few of you have picked out some accas and some fancy prices, things like that Lindelof yellow card. I'm going to keep mentioning that Lindelof yellow card now. We might put a little bet builder together as well, actually, for the Man United Everton game. Callum, yeah, there we go. Callum has got Bradford, Charlton, Norwich, Crewe, Preston. So 3 of mine in there. Crewe and Preston, 23-1, nice price. Yeah, that Bradford one really pushes the price up a bit, doesn't it? It's great to have it's great if it comes off, obviously. And as I say, I've been a little bit ropey in the EFL lately, so who knows? I will run through I'll leave that on the screen, but I'll run through the Premier League stuff, let you know what I've got today. Man United game, I went with over 2.5 goals. Bournemouth, me and Malcolm are on opposite sides. I've taken Bournemouth to win by 2 or more. Malcolm's taken the exact opposite. He's took Sheffield United in the handicap plus 1.5. I just can't back I can't back Sheffield United to do anything at the moment. Every now and then, Sheffield United will pull out a bit of a result. Maybe scrape a draw something, but I really need Bournemouth to win today because my other half is in a last man standing competition, Survivor competition. She's down to the last 3 people, 600 quid in the pot. She's on Bournemouth, and the other 2 are on West Ham to beat Burnley tomorrow. So if Bournemouth can win today, my other half is right in the hunt to try and chase down 600 quid. Riley's asking about ladders today. Pat is asking about Notts County and Wimbledon. I think the thing with Notts County at the moment, Notts County are in terrible form, but one thing that invariably happens is lots of goals. Over 3.5 is generally a safe play in Notts County games. Last few games, 3-4, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. So 4 of the last 5 have gone over 3.5. They've got 5-5s, 5-0s, 4-2s all over the place. I always like County for goals. You've generally got to take them up to over 3.5 to get a reasonable price, but I wouldn't talk anyone out of that one. And AFC Wimbledon. Let's look at AFC. I mean, you look at the other side of it. AFC Wimbledon have got a lot of unders. I think you've got to give more weight to the Notts County side of it, really, because Notts County will always get you goals, but they can't stop them at the other end. AFC Wimbledon 0-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-0, 0-0. Christ, 8 in a row to the unders. 5 of them went under 1.5 as well. Yeah, maybe want to dodge. County will not let you down for goals. Fulham game corners ladder. I didn't take any ladders on the corners this week. I was a bit wounded after last week's effort, so I decided, can't just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. That would be a little bit boring. But Fulham corners, recent games, they only had 2 themselves last week. This was a game that let me down. No corners last week against Brighton in the first half. Not a single corner. We had 8 in the second half. So it shows there was potential there. The game before that, though, they had 19 in the game with Man United. They've had a 14 against Bournemouth, 15, 21 in the game against Everton. The Wolves totals haven't been very high, though. 8, 10, 11, 14, 11, 11, 9. Not many big totals for corners in the Wolves games. If I was going to take it, I'd probably take the Fulham side of it. I would take the team corners rather than total match corners in that one. Morning, Lloydo. How we doing? Yeah, Pat. I think tagging on the both to score in the county game is absolutely fine as well as a way of pushing the price up. Definitely. Callum's asking what I fancy Liverpool City tomorrow. You won't like it, Callum. I've gone for City. Then it's just because they're above evens. Anytime I see City, let's remember they haven't lost for 20 in 20 games now, and I know Liverpool have similar form. They've lost once, but that was against Arsenal, so a decent comparison game. The problem with back in City is it's at Anfield, and City don't very often win at Anfield. I just think Liverpool have rode their luck a little bit in recent weeks, and maybe they've done what they need to in that spell where they've had all the injuries, because they are welcoming players back tomorrow. Núñez will be back now. Szoboszlai's back. Salah's back, having played 20 minutes the other day. So, yeah, I have went Man City just because I find the price 6-5 a little bit attractive. Absolutely not writing Liverpool off. I think it should be a cracking game, but I have gone for Man City. We'll see where we're at tomorrow. I might jump on before the game tomorrow, put a couple of bet builders together or something, because more than likely that's where I'll be going with my picks anyway. I'll end up sticking a bet builder. But my pick for the podcast was Man City. Lefty Mark put 15 corners on Fulham v Brighton last week. Yeah, it was, let's see, second half, absolutely fine. Lloydo fancies Liverpool, obviously, and Callum fancies them. It's one of them. Listen, half of people will fancy Liverpool, half will think Man City will win. And either way, you're getting a decent price. If you fancy Liverpool, take them at 2-1. Great price. If you fancy Man City, I think they're a good price at evens if you fancy it that way. No, there's not a result there that's going to surprise me. I just think Man City are the better side. And at evens, I will have that. Or better than evens. Lefty's chucking out the cards. Treble for tomorrow. Rodri, Endo, McAllister. Cards could be a good shout for that one. I wonder what the previous is. Let's have a look at the Man City. See, this should be for tomorrow's live stream, but let's be honest, everyone's looking forward to the Liverpool Man City game more than some of the shite we've got today. 15:45. Trying to work out what I'm doing tomorrow. All the kids' football and what have you. Right, head-to-heads. Earlier in the season, how many cards did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Last game, last season. 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. There hasn't been a game over 4 cards for a while. I bet the line is about 4.5. And all of the form, all the recent head-to-heads have gone under that. Let's have a look, see if I can find... Christ. See, number of cards in the match, over 5.5. You've got to go to get even money. And I've just looked through the last 5 head-to-heads, and there's not a single one had 5 cards in it. So unders on the cards could be the play. Lloyd was asking what do I think about the Rashford bet boost. I mentioned that right at the beginning before you jumped in. I've taken it. I think even money for Rashford to have a shot on target. As shite as he is, it's worth a go in as it evens. I can't stop scratching my nose. I'm suffering with hay fever this morning. Last few days have been a nightmare for hay fever. Let's jump through the rest of the Premier League card. I'll leave these on the screen. Make sure if you do want to follow, maybe you don't want to follow, but if you do, make sure you realise that several of those games kick off at 12:30. Ipswich over 1.5 goals. Ipswich to win in the Winnaker. Add Man United in the long shot. All 12:30 kick off. So get on early if that's what you're going to do. Right. Rest of the Premier League today. Bournemouth, Sheffield United, I've talked about. I'll take Bournemouth -1.5. Crystal Palace, Luton. I like Luton's price at 3-1. I didn't take them as my main pick. My main pick for that game would be the Luton team total. I think Luton can score a couple of goals. I think it's a good game for goals, this one. I think there will be goals. Luton score every week. I can't remember the last time Luton was shut out by anyone, but it was a long time ago, certainly in the league. Let's have a quick look. So 5 consecutive games of score. Brighton shut them out a while ago, but that was one. I think once in the last 10 they've been shut out. So I'll take Luton to score. I mean, in fact, hold on, that's not even true. They beat Brighton 4-0. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 games since Luton last shut out. So if Luton can definitely get 1, and you're getting a decent price on them to get 2, I think it's about 5-2 or something. So Luton goals for me. I think Malcolm took Palace goals in the same game, but that's fine. 2-2, we'll see us both cash a winner. Wolves v Fulham was one of the hardest games on the card for me. Fulham games full of goals at the moment. So I did go for goals, nearly even money, 9-10 for over 2.5 in that game. Someone has mentioned the corners potentially as a way of playing it. I quite like. I mean, the corners line set low. You've only got to go over 10 to get evens. Team corners. 4-6 for Fulham to have 5 or more. I could be tempted by a Fulham corner ladder, you know. I could definitely be tempted. There's nothing more fun on 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon than cheering on those corners. So you've got to find one somewhere. Sometimes it's worth getting on them in play. You can have a look and wait for a game. See where a game's gone sort of 10, 15 minutes in and you've got 4 or 5 corners already. Obviously, you've got to take a higher line there. You might be starting at 13 or so. But look for a game that just starts off well, because often if they start off well for the corners, it can be a good indication of where it's going to go from there. I've done similar last night on the Leeds game and done all right. I think I got 13 corners or something, and that took them in the second half. Lloydo's chucking a horse out. Callum is chucking out the Núñez hat-trick. Mafia obviously fancies City tomorrow. 150 Sandown. That's the thing. Lloydo and Callum, I know they were mentioning it last week. I think me and Malcolm are going to put out a little Cheltenham episode, possibly tomorrow. At worst, it'll be Monday. We're going to try and get it out tomorrow. How much notice you take of mine and Malcolm's picks for Cheltenham is up to you, but definitely get involved in that one. It'll probably just be a little half-hour show. We've got a friend of ours who's give us a bit of info to forward on that stuff that he likes, and we'll probably put out some picks each day for Cheltenham. Me and Mal will definitely get involved. So yeah, we'll schedule that in the YouTube, but it'll probably be sometime tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock at night, we've got the next round of the Champions League games covered, but we will we'll definitely get a Cheltenham episode in at some point tomorrow. It'll just be a short half-hour one. Try and get in, especially the likes of Lloydo, who likes to give a few picks himself. It'd be good to see what you fancy. And obviously, anyone who's getting stuck in at Cheltenham next week, good luck with all of that. Lefty Mag has got special for 2 shots, 2 fouls on Bowen in the Europa League. Oh, sorry, this was the other night. 2 shots, 2 fouls on Bowen in the Europa League, 4-1. Nice. Poor result for West Ham in the Europa League. I know Malcolm put out the overs in that one. We all thought there'd be goals. It didn't come off at all, which was a bit disappointing. Where am I up to on the Premier League? Wolves, Fulham. Oh, then we're into Arsenal, Brentford. How many are Arsenal going to win by this week is the question. What does everyone think? Could be anything, couldn't it? Let's be honest. I've went for first half goals, Arsenal. Over 1.5 first half goals. which has cashed in the last 4 or 5 Arsenal games. And you are getting 11 to 10, 7 to 2 for 3 in the first half, and 12 to 1 for 4 in the first half. Let's not forget Brentford score most weeks as well. So, yeah, plenty of goals in the Arsenal game again. I can't say anything but an Arsenal winning that one. Lloyd has got a 50 to 1 bet builder on the Liverpool game. Oh, he got one up on the Liverpool game. Only had 3. I got lucky. Liverpool game the other day, I was on Luis Diaz shots. I needed him to get 3. He got the 3rd just before he got subbed for Salah. Salah came on, and I got 20 minutes left. So Salah shots 9 to 2 for Salah to have 2 shots in the game. It's only 20 minutes, but you fancy him to be quite lively. He's just coming back from injury, trying to sharpen himself for the weekend. Gets his first shot straight away. And then in the 95th minute, 85th minute or whatever, he gets his second shot, which is the goal, which subsequently gets disallowed. So he hits his 2 shots. And on Bet365, the cash out's there. You can take your money. Cashed it out while the VAR check's going on. Bet365 still had it. Cashed it out. And then the goal gets disallowed. The shot gets taken away. But by this time, I've withdrawn the money out. It's gone. It's gone. It's in my account. Sure enough, Bet365 cancelled the bet. Account goes into minus. And then an hour later, they send a message just saying, as a goodwill gesture, we have reset your account to 0 and you can have your money back. So, cashed a winner on Salah 2 shots, despite the fact he only had 1, which was nice. Got to be quick. Fastest finger first. It's always worth it. You know when they put the cash up and it's the full amount of your bet. So you stand to win 100, let's say, and the goal goes in. Sometimes the cash out will be there straight away. You can take the £100. And next thing you know, someone's looking at a VAR check. You've already got the money there. Take it straight out, get it in your bank, and they can't grab it from you. If you leave it in your Bet365 account, they can grab it back. Right, let's get a bet builder. Lloydo's mentioned a bet builder for the Man United game. Anyone in the chat fancies anything for this Man United game? Let's get a sensible bet builder going, and then we'll make it less sensible by chucking in a Lindelof card at the end to boost it right up, because Lindelof is a great price for a card today. So bet builders, what do we fancy? Goals, corners, shots, tackles, passes, anything you want. Get going. What's the first pick? Somebody throw something out. Mafia, Lloydo, Callum, Lefty. Man United, Everton, you must have some thoughts. Well, I've got the over 2.5. So I'm going to chuck the over 2.5 in as a starting point. Fernandez shots on target, and Lefty Mark's chucking out Rashford shots on target. So let's look at those two. Right, we'll take them both for 1 shot on target. We'll be sensible with this to start with. Anything else? Lloydo likes Everton over 1.5. Everton offsides. Pat likes the both teams score, so we'll chuck that in. Both to score, yes. Offsides, I can't remember ever backing a team for offsides. Everton 2 offsides, 13. That pushes us right up. That's enough. That is enough. We've got a 13 to 2. A little bet builder here. Give me 1 second. Right, I'll get this on the screen in a second so you can see what we've done. Goals. Shots on target was Rashford and Bruno. And then I'm going to supercharge this up by chucking in that Lindelof card. Give us 1 second. I'll get this all on the screen. If anyone wants to get stuck in, they can do so. $60 to 1. I've got you a nice $60 to 1 winner here. Yeah, I've never taken an offsides pick before. Right, I'm just going to add this into the stream so I can pop it on the screen for you. Bosch, 13-2, plus 650. Over 2.5 goals. Rashford and Bruno, one shot on target each. Both teams to score, yes. And over 1.5 Everton offsides. That sounds all right, that. Surely Everton get a goal. Everyone gets a goal against Man United, don't they? And then the same pick, but with a Victor Lindelof yellow card. Bosch, 60-1. What is Riley saying? Riley's saying, Baz, goal scored in the Man United game. I don't know what you mean, Riley. It hasn't kicked off. Lloyd, I said, I don't know. I think Man United are a decent price. That's why I stuck them in that long shot today. I mean, Everton aren't very good. But I can't bring myself to back Man United at the moment. I just don't trust them against anyone. They were awful against Fulham last week. And I'm really not sure about that back four. With Johnny Evans at centre or Lindelof at left back. Stinks that. Yeah, so Mafia's trying to point Pat in the direction of those offsides. I found the offsides in the bet builder section on Bet365 under, I think it's got total offsides, but then if you click on it, you can choose which team. So it's under the total shots market. But yeah, I mean, the offsides pushes it up a little bit. Callum has backed them in a single to try and double their money. I like the Ipswich game rather than the Man United game, you know. And out of the early stuff today, I'm more interested in this Ipswich game and Ipswich goals. Honestly, Ipswich goals at the moment, because they're another team who can't keep a clean sheet, but they find a way of coming back in games every time. Let's just have a look. Ipswich last. Look at this. I mean, the Ipswich team total. They've scored 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2, 2. That's 8 in a row. They've scored 2 goals, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those 8, they've hit 3 goals. See, I think Ipswich to get 2 as a minimum is an absolutely great place to start, and Ipswich to get 3 would interest me as well. That is where I'm going to end up. Goals. 4-5 Ipswich. It's not far off even money for those Ipswich goals, man. Nyan Burrows, new name in the chat, shouting up Blackburn, Sam Smodic to score anytime. 6-4 at home to Plymouth. Good shout. Sam Smodic is a good player. I like the look of him against Newcastle the other week. And Plymouth leak goals for fun. So plus money for Smodic is a good shout. I like that. Just having a look at that. Yeah, Plymouth still continue to leak lots of goals. Lefty Mag thinks this first one is a cards game. He's gone for Casemiro, Lindelof, Garner, Doucouré, Rashford, Fernandez. Oh, sorry. Casemiro, Lindelof, Gardner, Doucouré, cards, Rashford, Fernandez, McTominay, shots on target. Nice. Tell you what we're missing today is my mate Lee, the Burnley fan, normally comes in and gives us his massive big price Aka. Is not going to work next week, Aka, and we've missed him. He's not here today, which is disappointing. I'll have to chase him up on Twitter. It's got close the last couple of weeks as well. We'll get that. There's the EFL stuff back on for anyone that wants it. Jump off here in the next few minutes so I can go and make sure I've got everything on that I need. If anyone else has got anything else they wish to share, then please do so. Mafia's right, Ipswich are looking great. It's a really interesting battle at the top of that league now. Really good, really tight. Leicester have dropped a few points lately, so have let teams back in. United score 2, a decent pick. Probably. I've taken goals in the game, and I think Man United will get a couple. Right. I'm too occupied here looking at what I need to do before 12:30. So I'm going to jump off. Thank you everyone who's joined in. Don't forget to join us tomorrow if you can, 10 o'clock Sunday night. We will cover the midweek Champions League and talk over what's happened in the Premier League. If I get a chance to jump on live, and even Malcolm, if he's around, might try and do a little pre-game before the Liverpool-Man City game tomorrow. Knock a couple of bet builders together or something. We've definitely got a Cheltenham episode coming up at some point over the weekend. Once we get the chance to do that, we will do so. Good luck if you're having a bet today. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy all of the football. Lefty, I will put those in Telegram in 2 minutes as soon as I come off here. Good luck if you're having a bet. Thanks everyone for joining in, and keep following us on YouTube. Make sure you keep an eye out for all of our content on there. Thanks for all the comments and likes that people have been putting on there over the last week. It is appreciated. Until next time, I will see you later. Cheers.